My family can look like any other family from the outside. My son was about to turn 2, and he got bit by a fire ant and went to cardiac failure. And what was a perfect day, and we felt like our family was just in a great place, changed in about 15 seconds. He ended up spending about 2 weeks before his heartbeat was normal. He spent a year where he had to be in isolation, which meant I had to be in isolation. And so I was so lonely in that time period. For me, it was such a stark difference between being a family of 4 running around doing activities to just a dead stop in our house by myself trying to keep my son alive. And at the end of that year, I was so excited when they said you can start to do normal things again. And I went out into the world expecting life to go back to normal, and we hit a plexiglass wall. My son could have seizures, which meant he couldn't do what other kids could do anymore. I had to protect his immune system. We couldn't participate in church, we couldn't participate in activities. We just found that when the isolation we thought would be over was over, it wasn't. And I struggled because I had watched my son code in my arms. When people suggested go get a babysitter and go out somewhere, I couldn't do it. I would literally shake because I knew how close we all are, a couple heartbeats away from everything changing. Our card coordinator talked to me and was like, you have to do something different. This is not going to continue to work for your family. And she encouraged me to get in touch with Nathaniel's Hope and go to Buddy Break. But I was scared to have anybody take care of my kids at that point. I ended up going to an event at Northland Church where I saw Buddy Break in action. I didn't intend to see Buddy Break, and I saw how careful they were with the kids, how they loved them. And it was the first time I thought I could leave my son with these people and it would be okay. And they met with me and they talked with me about his needs. And I remember that first day I went to Northland Church and dropped him off, signed him in, and I made it like just around the corner, and I literally laid on the ground and slept for like 3 hours solidly until it was time to pick him up. And I desperately needed to just be able to sleep. A Buddy Break was where I would go, and it was the time where I felt like I didn't have to constantly be taking care of someone else. And it gave me the opportunity to process my grief as well. And my kids felt loved and cared for. It was amazing. You know, my daughter had her own trauma from all of this, and she would go to Buddy Break and she was loved and cared for, and it made a huge difference for our family. I cannot tell you how important it was to us to have a group of people who knew Jesus, who loved Jesus, and who loved my kids exactly the way they were, and loved us exactly the way they were. No matter what challenges our family faced, they continued to say, we love you, we care about you, and we are going to figure out how to make sure that your family can be a part of our community. And we thank God for them.